Hello, I'd like to speak to you for a few minutes about the provision of services to subject matter experts in your institution who wish to produce MOOCs. So what's the challenge ahead of us here? Well, we want to maximize the quality of videos that can be produced by the subject matter experts, or lecturers maybe. We want to control the costs as well, but we also want to encourage lecturers to do this, so we want to minimize the workload and the skills required for them to do this. So here are some useful ideas that can be applied when trying to provide such institutional services. Firstly, simplify processes wherever possible. You could use recommended basic standards like templates and maybe avoid doing things that are particularly fancy. Just go for simple ideas. Make sure that you provide them with hardware that is reliable so they don't get discouraged. If the amount of skills you require of the lecturers are minimal, the training will be minimal as well. They will need support, so try and make sure that that support is responsive as possible. And when you design the workflows, passing work from one person to other, try to keep that workflow as simple as possible as well. Okay, division of labor. So what tasks can be removed from subject matter experts and carried out more efficiently by others? Remember, lecturers don't want to be experts in learning technology. They're quite happy nowadays to learn to use PowerPoint, so maybe one or two other skills might be as much as they will tolerate if you want them to develop content. So instructional design, they may need some support on that, although they'll have very strong views themselves. Content development, well, they probably will develop their own PowerPoint slides. But when it comes to producing the video and quizzes, they don't want to learn specialized software for that. So editing and assembly of a course might be better off done by somebody else. And the quality assurance, the checking, might be better off done by somebody else as well. Okay, so let's look at instructional design. Subject matter experts may need some help from an instructional designer, but remember, teamwork is expensive, so let's try and keep the amount of people involved in that to a minimum. So just have the subject matter expert work with the instructional designer. They will probably give them a template to create a simple learning strategy, what tools they're going to use, what types of objects, provide them with maybe template documents in Word and PowerPoint so they just fill in the blanks as it were. And in terms of planning a project, maybe a simple spreadsheet with a list of learning objects to be developed and the dates by which they need to be developed. These templates, as I say, they could be standard PowerPoints or Word documents where they fill in the blanks. In quizzes, quizzes can be quite difficult to build on platforms, so it might be easier just to ask them to write out the quiz in Microsoft Word, often asking them to follow a particular format that makes it easy to import into a platform. If they're doing something that's a little complicated, like a peer assessment, it might be as well just to have a fill in the boxes form in Word. And the same goes for discussion assignments as well. If you provide them with hardware, make sure it's reliable. It might be good, rather than to maintain more advanced equipment at various lecturers' desks in their offices, to have a kiosk or booth where they can do their recordings. And it may have some extra equipment like dual screens or graphic screens with a good camera, a good microphone, with lighting, with a visualizer that they can write on paper and record it. And it can be close to technical support as well. So it's always kept in tip-top condition. As I say, if the skills required of the lecturer are fairly simple, then training will be minimal. But it also must be accepted that that training is available just when they need it. So just-in-time videos can be very helpful, videos that they just know where to get to find out how to do certain things, or short cheat sheets that you can print out and give them so they can check out, having been shown how to do something, they can just check out the steps very quickly. They must have access to good responsive support services, so it could be close to the kiosk or available online, a phone number online or a number or something that they can connect to and get help via video conferencing and screen sharing. Now, to finish off, I want to talk about a simple workflow for video production where a subject matter expert would work with a learning technologist who would also act as an editor. So the subject matter expert may have PowerPoint slides ready for a 7-minute video, and they would sit down and record that. Now, if they make a mistake while doing a slide, they will just say, repeat that, and go back and repeat the section from before they made the mistake. Then they would save the created unprocessed video in a shared area or a Dropbox that can be accessed by the learning technologist or editor. Now, the editor will look at that and decide, can I edit this into a usable video? If not, they'll go back and contact the subject matter expert and give them some advice on how to re-record it. Chances are it will be fine, and they will edit it, removing any errors, applying any other edits that are required, and then they'll process that, publish it somewhere, and then create a link from the platform. So it's this very simple workflow for creating short videos. Okay, that's it for this video. Just reminding you that this is produced by the Locomotion Project, otherwise known as MOOCs for All, and check out our own MOOC, Making MOOCs on a Budget, at moocsforall.eu. And before we leave, I have a question for you to consider. Turn to your neighbour and discuss the above approach that we have presented to you. Do you think you can improve on this? Remove something, add something, change something? Do you think you can make it better or even leaner? Thank you.